Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get right back to that train and we're going to take on and get on board people all over the world. Join in on the love what? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take the OJs and we're going to bring them down a little bit, okay? And you know what we got to do before we go on to our next stop? We got to make sure our microphones are hooked up correctly. See, that's what it's supposed to be, hands-free. That's the first one. And this one right here, we got to make sure that it's connected properly because that's why you got the feedback yesterday. It's because of the software integrating with one another. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it keeps on riding for you, hey, people all over the world, got some information for you. I did a consult this morning. Got another consult in about 30 minutes. So we're gonna do this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents, got some information that you all will need to know. Those of you who were dealing with incarcerated individuals, I'm sorry. From time to time, there are moments that I have these conversations. Okay. And as I'm having these conversations, sorry about the squeaky chair in the background. Okay. But it's just what it is. And I got some anti-squeak degreaser stuff. Forgot the name of that stuff sitting right in front of me, but I ain't never thought to use it. I should have used it, but oh well. Life goes on. All right. Getting back to the information to help you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hi! People all over the world. Y'all need to know something. I was having a conversation with the individual. We were dealing with a consult, and he was asking questions, and I said, you don't understand what a consult is. See, what he was talking about was just a conversation. It wasn't I need some advice. You guys do understand that's what a consult is. It's one party asking another party for advice in a particular situation so that they can think through the process. Well, he understands now, but he finally got to the question. That's why I said finally got to the question. We talked for 3 hours, an hour and a half yesterday, and an hour and 45 minutes today. Okay. The hour and a half yesterday was free, like I said. Why? Because it ain't about the money, y'all. Now, people all over the world, I need y'all to join this love train. Y'all here, right here. It's all about love, ladies and gentlemen. You got people in jail, but see, remember, their case is already over by years. So how do you get back into court? Everybody keeps wondering, how do you get back into court? So what I told them, I said, look, it is very difficult to get back in court. The only way to get back in court because of statute of limitations, and I typed this in, criminal appeal based on fraud. Remember, there's no statute of limitations to fraud. So there's no statute of limitations for them bringing a fraud claim. So I said criminal appeal based on fraud. Why? Because it's a criminal case. I needed to find out if there have been other criminal cases based on fraud. So put that into your Google. Those of you who got people in jail, talk to them about this, all right? I got to send this to somebody, this information right here to someone. I've already downloaded this right here. This is where we're going to go next. Watch this. Uh-oh, it didn't do it. See, it's supposed to have clicked on this next because I clicked on this next already. All right, so let's go there. This is a PDF. We're going to skip past that on Ray Goodman, go to our Delphonics, and we're going to ask you about blowing minds this time and last time because I know I done blew y'all mind with this information right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an unpublished case. Now, pay attention. A decision by a court is a decision by a court. As long as it doesn't violate previous precedent, you should be able to rely on that. Why? Because it's a decision by a court. It's a court of law. If it's a court of law, it's a court of record. If it's a court of record, then you should be able to rely on that public record. But they have created an administrative process, an administrative court, to which they can say whatever they want to say, give somebody some relief, but you don't have the same right to the same relief. That's called unequal protection of law. Okay, let me tell you how you get around that unpublished bull. When they do these cases like this, and take your time and read this case, it's a simple case. It's only 10 pages, ladies and gentlemen. When you read this, what you do is you take the comments by the judges and you add the case law. You don't add this case, you add the case law they relied upon. This is a situation where an individual was accused of murdering his family. He told them, no, wait, hold on a minute. People broke into my house. What are y'all doing? Here's their description. He gave them the description. They ignored him. So what did he do? He filed a writ of habeas corpus. They denied this writ of habeas corpus. Said, what the you doing this for? We ain't hearing this junk. So he said, hold on a minute. I got some new exculpatory evidence. DNA. They said, we don't give a... And so he appealed it to the appeals court, and the appeals court said, hey, homie, look, we ain't going to say whether or not you got a right to habeas corpus, but you do have a right to have the court check out that new evidence. Pay attention. We deny leave to file a successive habeas corpus petition by order of October, blah, 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 but in the same order, remanded back to the district court for limited purpose of McDonald's to conduct the DNA testing. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all want to see something? I think it's this one. No, saving private. No, that's not. I don't want to save no Private Ryan. No, non-government. No, where are you at? You know what? I think I may have lost it. I think I may have lost it. Using your exemption, saving Private Ryan. It ain't none of them. Y'all gotta hold on a second. Y'all just hold on a second, okay? I'm gonna pause y'all while I pull it up. We're gonna do that. My 5 footsteps. Ooh, ooh, child. Oh, ooh, child. Child. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. This is the case with SATCOM versus PayPal. I went back into the case and said, hold on a minute, I'm a part of the case. You fools haven't sent me no communication. I'm a part of this case. My name is on this case. What the are y'all doing? I'm the one who filed the appeal. What are you telling me that you're dismissing the appeal for lack of prosecution? You're supposed to communicate with me. I've already sent you the paperwork. My name is on there. My address is on there. I even sent you a change of address. How come you mother ain't spoke to me? Anybody? Anybody remember? Pay attention. They just added his name. See right there? It says case was terminated. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if the case was terminated, why is it still active? Why are you still assigning judges to it? Interesting, huh? If the case is terminated, and that's what they did, they terminated the case because Arnold Schwarzenegger was busy. So they terminated the case. Well, if that's the case, then what are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going back into each one of these courts. Hold on, because we done told you guys about this right here. So you already know about that. So we don't need to talk about that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going back into every single case that they did with the appeals, with the arbitration, and each one of you arbitrators, I mean not arbitrators, but arbitration clients, each one of you, do a civil appeal based on fraud. Go into the appeals court, okay? Do your civil appeal based on fraud. Why? What's the fraud? Well, first, the court didn't have a hearing, didn't have a legitimate hearing. These individuals were acting outside of the Federal Arbitration Act. They only had 30 days. Or sorry, 90 days. They only had 90 days to contest the arbitration. They failed to appear at the arbitration hearing. According to your case law, if they fail to appear at the arbitration hearing, they have no claim. You see, they chose not to appear at the arbitration hearing. If they choose not to appear at the arbitration hearing, they have no claim. They can't raise issue at that point. This is what they've been doing, waiting until everything is said and done, and then coming in and saying, oh, we're sorry, we don't agree with this. It's too late. You waived your right when you failed to appear at that hearing. And the fact that the courts know this and they proceed to issue a judgment against you anyway, and the courts have said that they have to, watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not even going to do the against part. We're going to put that statement in there. because this is what we've been dealing with the courts. Now, why this is Bing, and I know this is Bing. No, this is Yahoo. Nobody asked Yahoo for that junk. I'm sorry that it goes straight to Yahoo. We're gonna do it on Google. And so what? I'm gonna go backwards. Look, hey, if I can turn back the hands of times, y'all told y'all about Tyrone, right? It's Tyrone Davis, everybody. 3 Tyrone Davis songs in the last 2 days. You guys just don't understand. Like I said, I haven't heard Tyrone Davis, and I like Tyrone. Okay, reminds me of Johnny and so forth. And I ain't talking about no Johnny Gill. If you don't know what Johnny I'm talking about, then y'all got problems. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking for where. See, it gives me 32,000 results, but it doesn't give me what I'm looking for. The courts won't protect. Let's do this. Because we got several responses from the courts where they said that we have to protect ourselves and our sister courts. Their exact words. Now you notice Google won't let me do that search. It only wants to do arbitration. Take a look. It won't do we have to protect ourselves and our sister courts. It's just doing arbitration. That's the highlighted word in each of these. Let's see. Yeah, and then we back to the court won't protect. We ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to quote it exactly, but let's see. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can do it this way. And the exact same result. So let's get rid of arbitration. You know what? I have a better way. I have a better way of looking up the information. Watch this. Woo. Wait, the Protect Our Courts Act. Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, I had no idea. So let's click on that and see what we get. But again, those of you who have people who are in jail and do you think their cases is over, go back and do an appeal. Put in the first thing I would do if it's me, I'm putting in a motion documenting fraud. Exculpatory evidence on fraud. What's the first thing about fraud? Well, an individual has a right to due process of law. So that's the first thing I'm bringing. New York Constitution right to access the court. The ability to access the state court system is essential in our nation's liberty and due process. Okay, you have the right, ladies and gentlemen, to due process of law. No one can take that away from you. This is not what I thought it was, so Protect Our Courts Act as a means of ensuring New Yorkers have access to the court is not compromised by the misguided approach of immigration enforcement. Okay, don't care about that stupid stuff. I thought it was going to be the courts bringing forth that statement, but watch this. I got to go back. Got to go back twice. I'll kiss my tears away. Hey there, lonely girl. All right, we go CASETEXT. .com. Casetext.com. Casetext.com. We're gonna go here, see if we can find it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 10:37. I have less than 15 minutes, so I gotta go. Free trial. We're gonna do a free trial. I gotta give it an email address. Hold on, y'all, give me a second. Watch this. What do we do? There it is, right there. Fake mail generator. Once you're in my arms, you'll see. You'll see. No one can do what? The way I. Sorry, I like the song, please, ladies and gentlemen. Hey there, lonely girl. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what I don't want that one. I want. That's gonna be this email. Okay, now I gotta go back to case text. Let's bring that to the end too, so that I don't have to keep switching back and forth, back and forth. We're not gonna do EON TV V, and we're gonna do. And we're gonna do. And we're gonna do that one. And don't dial that number, people. That ain't my number. And we're gonna do representing myself in legal matters. And what we're gonna do this to make sure that we don't have no problems. Okay? Void is disaffirmance, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I usually put it somewhere in the address field. It didn't like my password. Let's see. Okay, I have another password that I use strictly for this. You guys want to know it? Sorry. This is the moments, and they got to find a way. I was about to say, I put in a password that they should be accepting. Something else, ladies and gentlemen. I ordered a cell phone, a Huawei cell phone. It had the address for where I'm staying. They sent it to Los Angeles. What the? Nobody asked them to send it to Los Angeles? They sent it to Los Angeles to an address in Los Angeles and said the person moved. Well, it wasn't addressed to nobody in Los Angeles. The envelope clearly said my address, where I am now. I checked with the post office, they confirmed. Okay? They confirmed the address. Now, we're going to be using case text. Uh-oh. No, I didn't mean to do that. I got to go back there. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. All right. No, we don't want that one. No, we don't want that one either. This is where I looked up the definition of fraud. Dag nabbit. Nope. None of these are. Sorry. Now I gotta put it back in. Okay. We must protect ourselves in our sister courts. It doesn't actually say those exact words, but this will look through all of the cases to find this phrase. Comedy to our sister states. That's sister states. I specifically said sister courts. See, it does say sister state courts. Now, why are they sisters? Voiced by our sister courts. See, we are obliged to repeat the caution voiced by a sister court. So let me get rid of the obliged to repeat and all of that junk, because that's not what I asked it for. Let's do that. No cases found. No, let's do. Let's just do protect ourselves and our sister courts. I'll just do it. Oh, no cases found. Now, I do know that that's exactly what the actual courts have cited in each one of the cases. Meekins is the case. I don't know who Meekins was against. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's do it that way. The chairman of the board, y'all. Well, I don't see the wording. But let's see. Count claimant. I don't see anything about protecting themselves and their sister courts. Supreme Court and our sister courts, I see that. That's not what I'm looking for. But now you guys get to see that they do use the phrase sister courts. Recent years, this court and our sister courts. Okay. So we do have that. I just don't have the correct phrase, and I don't know the case, so I'll have to do that another time. I don't want to take up you all's time. What I am saying, those of you who have arbitrations, so that you guys understand, if you have arbitrations, then what you will do is you will go in and do an appeal based on fraud. You will highlight that there is no statute of limitations for fraud. That is one of the key points that you must realize and remember. There is no statute of limitations on fraud. These are the elements of fraud. Now they claim there are 9. Sorry, some of these are usually based upon, let's put this so that you guys will see. This is what you will have to prove. That they misrepresented the facts. That it was materially a falsity. So that what they misrepresented had a direct bearing on the case, that it was a falsity, that they relied on false information, there was no evidence, that they had knowledge of this falsity, that their intent was to have the court and you act upon their falsities to their benefit, that your ignorance, you were completely ignorant of their falsity. It wasn't a fact. So how could you be aware of the truthfulness of something when it's a falsity? The plaintiff's reliance on that truth and misrepresentation has been a result of your injury. So you relied upon that misrepresentation to your injury, and your rights were infringed upon by relying upon that false information. These are the so-called 9 elements of fraud, the same as elements of conspiracy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back because I think that this is the one. Let me get rid of elements of fraud because I think that's not the only thing that I was doing when I did this. There is no statute of limitations for fraud. Fraud upon the court, no statute of limitations. So this was the next thing I went to. This is what I'm suggesting. All of you have had cases where you know they violated your rights, but you don't know how to articulate they violated your rights. Go with they violated your right to due process. Now, this is a blog, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't do blogs that often, but I'm going to give you one thing. This particular blog has case law. So, watch this. The right to a speedy trial may derail any prosecution after many years have passed. Okay? Now that's what they do, is they give you case law, but this is the case law I like. When an officer of the court is found to have fraudulently presented facts to impair the court's impartial performance of its legal task, the act, known as fraud upon the court, is not subject to a statute of limitations. It can be brought at any time. There is no statute of limitations. This mainly covers fraud where the court or a member of its corrupt and or influence is attempted, or where the judge has not performed his judicial function. Thus, where impartial functions of the court have been directly corrupted. In this regard, the Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit has stated the following. In order to meet the necessary demand standard for proof of fraud upon the court, we conclude that there must be an intentional fraud by an officer of the court which is directed at the court itself and, in fact, deceives the court. That's all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. But see, that's what they've concluded. Fraud upon the court is fraud, period. Fraud is illegal. A judge cannot commit fraud because they sit in office. Federal judges sit in office while in good behavior. Fraud can never equate to good behavior. Never, ever, 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 ever. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know that some of you are going to be appreciative of this information, and so I'm leaving this information with you. I hope it is beneficial. I hope it's valuable to you. With that being said, this 25 or 26-minute video is now brought to a conclusion. I do want some of you to know that if you take a look at the description section, it has the contact information for yours truly from this point forward. That will be up there. There is no more commenting on the videos, so please do not leave no more comments because it's not going to be permitted anymore. Have a good day, have a good life, have a good time, and I hope this information was beneficial to you. And if it was beneficial to you, then pass it along. Help other people to come to understand the same information, same beneficial information. All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents, have a good day, have a good life, have a good time, have a good bye. And we're going to let us, what Red Goodman and Brown, they're going to take us to the limit. Okay, have a good day, everybody. Gotta go with Ray Goodman, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s father, and Brown.